You can pull these things that are like really, really heavy. And I actually brought a very simplified version of a yoke. It looks like this, and I need somebody to volunteer. Gary, you're looking like a really good example right now. And I want us to see what Jesus means by taking my yoke upon you. So Gary's going to kind of put this around, kind of like he's going to the gym. Where? Yeah, that's right. I was there, first week of January, the week before summer started. But basically, you could do the bench press, right? And without a bench press, it's not too hard. Like, you could probably lift that up, right? Yeah. Exceptions apply, I guess. But so this is kind of the idea of a yoke, right? Without anything attached to it, you're pretty free. You're good. But when you go to the gym and you start adding those like 25-pounders on each of these sides, then Gary, yeah, you're really doing it, right? It's a lot harder to do that. And what Jesus is saying here is he's saying, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. And when I Google searched the definition of yoke, the first 3 words that showed up were a wooden cross piece. And I was like, spoiler alert, cross piece, right? And you think about this idea. And so we want to think about things that we yoke with. Maybe something that Gary yokes with. Don't call out a sin, but let's just hypothetically, what are some things that Gary might yoke with? What are some things that he might put on his shoulders? If you don't understand what yoke means, it's saying, what am I putting on my shoulders? What am I carrying? What weight am I carrying? Stress. Cars. Yes, Gary does a lot of stuff with cars. I'm sure that's really tough on the shoulders.
Being in charge of his family. Being
the leader of his family. Maybe work, we talked about that, right? Another one I had was success. Maybe he's just so burdened with the desire to be successful that it starts weighing him down. And so I want to visualize these. I got these super heavy weights. Ignore the giant bags and the pillows. But you got work, right? You got work, and Gary goes to work, and it just gets a little, thank you, you're so good at it. It gets a little heavier, really heavy. And he starts yoking with this thing. He's like, I can carry this. I can keep going, right? I'll work a few more hours. And then he's like, I want to be really successful. I want to be the greatest car guy in the world. And that starts carrying him down even more, right? Right? And it's this burden that goes on to him. But Galatians 5:1 says, for freedom, Christ has set us free. Stand firm, therefore, against the yoke of slavery. Do not submit again to that anymore, right? And Jesus has freed us from yoking with these things that we don't need to. In fact, he said, I'll just be Jesus in this illustration. So he just comes up to Gary. He's like, hey, Gary, you don't have to carry that anymore. I want to carry that for you. Come to me. Don't actually come to me yet. He says, come to me. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. I want to give you rest. I want to take those things off your shoulder, and I want to trade you for my cross yoke. Because this is what Jesus did. He died on the cross for us, right? And because of that, we don't have to carry these things around anymore. It doesn't mean we don't have to work anymore, right? But we don't have to come home with that burden on our shoulders. It doesn't mean we can't be successful. Success is not a bad thing. But it does mean we don't need to make that an idol, and we don't need to try to look for success. 1 John 2:2 says Jesus was our propitiation. And when he died on the cross for our sins, he died for all these different things that he knew we would yoke with. He knew that we were going to idolize work. He knew we were going to fail at being a leader of our house, right? And he's just saying, come to me. I'm the giver of all that you need. I'm the answer to the things going on in your marriage. I'm the answer to the things going on in your workplace. I'm the answer to everything that you need, your finances. And if we get this, guys, if we decide today to come to Jesus with all of our stuff and cast it on his shoulders, remember how Jesus had to carry the cross? You guys have seen the Passion film? On his shoulders, right? There's not many other ways to carry this big, heavy cross. He carried on his shoulders for us. And when we decide to cast it upon him, our shoulders will go from heavy to light. Our shoulders will go from burdened to rested. And in fact, Jesus, I'm adding this right now, but I think this is good. Jesus comes along and he's like, I got this, man. I'm going to carry this with you. And it's going to be okay. Thanks, Gary. Gary used to be my small group leader in 2nd grade. So this is a good moment. Thanks, Gary. Everyone give Gary a little round of applause.